Hey, it's David, and welcome back to another episode of the Reddit Story podcast.
Sunday morning, I went to the garage to sort through some junk I'd acquired from a close friend of mine named Daniel, who is a professional photographer. Daniel once captured beautiful moments at my wedding, and my wife owns a collection of his photographs taken at various times. These images cover a wide range of subjects, including nudes, nature, and artistic compositions. Being 6 years older than me, Daniel leads a secluded lifestyle with no family or children. Talented people are often distinctive and live in their own unique world. However, in communication, Daniel is a direct and friendly person. We spent a lot of time together enjoying nature and fishing. He even lived with us for a while. My girlfriend, Amy, never felt awkward around him and moved freely around the apartment without any embarrassment. I didn't pay much attention to it. Amy and I lived together for 2 years before committing ourselves to the bonds of marriage. During that time, Daniel was a constant presence in our lives. Although he excelled at capturing breathtaking landscapes, his true passion lay in photographing the female form. So Amy became his favorite muse. I came across a box of CDs in the garage. At first, I thought about throwing them away, but then I decided to check the inscriptions that were written in marker. Finally, I found my wedding disc. I was overjoyed because the only thing left from the wedding were the photos, which were immediately printed out. I put the wedding disc in the car and everything else in the trunk. Later that evening, while waiting for my wife to return from her fitness class, I inserted the wedding disc into my laptop. To my surprise, I discovered photos on the screen that I had never seen before. There was a series of shots of Amy in the bathtub and then in bed. Roughly speaking, the pictures were quite explicit. I realized from the pictures that this was the hotel room where my future wife was staying before the wedding. On the day of the wedding, her friends couldn't find her for a while, but after examining a disc I found in the garage, everything became clear. She and the photographer were there alone, so what happened next? I started looking through the photos and already had a feeling that I wasn't going to like what I saw, but curiosity took over. The most shocking thing was that Daniel was filming everything with his camera, documenting their actions. Then I saw Daniel and his conniving wife lying next to each other. And then there was footage that I'd rather not even mention. There were pictures of my future mother-in-law. Why future? Simple. They were taken a few hours before we got married. In these not modest pictures, my mother-in-law did things that are embarrassing to say. When did he have time to take all these pictures? Now I know who taught my wife how to do all that. Anyway, the photo was a picture of my wife cheating on me. It was all unfolding on our wedding day. My anger and frustration was beyond description. I learned a lot about my wife and friend that night through these candid photos. So without waiting for my unfaithful wife to return from the gym, I headed home. My phone rang nonstop, but I was too busy packing up her things to throw them out of the apartment. When my wife arrived in the cab and saw the suitcases, she was ready to make a scene. However, when I showed her the picture, she immediately calmed down. She tried to explain that it was a mistake, but I just slammed the door in her face. That is the story of my ex-wife and my former best friend. Trusting people now seems like an impossible task.